Okay, in this video I'm going to take a look at mediation in employment disputes. What is mediation, when is it used, and what's involved? What are the pros and cons of mediation? Mediation is basically a form of alternative dispute resolution. A third-party mediator, professional mediator, helps the parties in the dispute to come to their own solution. So the key thing is the parties themselves arrive at the solution. It's not imposed. It's commonly used in situations where you might have a personality clash, miscommunications, allegations of harassment or bullying, and misunderstandings of obligations. It's a voluntary process. It must be agreeable to both parties. The goal is for the parties to come to their own solution, and it's not binding on the parties until they sign an agreement. The advantages of mediation are that it's informal. Both parties get to have their say. It's inexpensive. The parties, assisted by a mediator, arrive at their own solution. Now, it's quite possible that when parties arrive at a solution themselves, there's a greater amount of buy-in than if a solution is imposed. It can be faster, obviously, than waiting to go to the Workplace Relations Commission or to court. The Workplace Relations Commission uses or provides a service, the Early Resolution Service. It's a mediation service. It may be offered to the parties where a WRC complaint is submitted. It's not offered in all situations, but it may be offered. Section 39 of the Workplace Relations Act 2015 provides the legislative basis for this. All records and notes arising from this mediation are confidential unless they are needed to resolve a further dispute. In other words, a dispute could arise down the road as to what was actually agreed, or so only in those situations would the records and notes be produced. The stages of mediation then, well, both parties meet the mediator alone. A meeting will then take place between the parties and the mediator. Issues will be explored and hopefully a solution will be arrived at. The agreement is then explained to both parties and signed by the parties. A mediation, though, is not always appropriate. It should not be used as a first response. In other words, the parties should actually be encouraged to discuss themselves and talk to one another before going to a mediation situation where you're bringing in an external person, a professional mediator. It should not be used to avoid making decisions, in other words, for management to hide behind difficult decisions. It should not be used if adjudication is needed. So if a party alleges bullying or harassment or something of a serious nature against another party, well, then it may not be appropriate at all, and one of the parties, the alleged victim, will obviously be entitled to an adjudication of what they claim is wrong. If the alleged victim of bullying or harassment wants it investigated, well, then clearly mediation would not be suitable. An investigation should be carried out. And then it's not suitable if one of the parties is completely intransigent, and bringing in a mediator and engaging in a mediation process will raise unrealistic expectations. It's not appropriate then also if the parties do not have the power to settle the dispute. A mediation agreement is important. It should be signed by the parties before the mediation process at all. It will set out the ground rules for both parties. It should have clauses in it dealing with costs, legal status and effect of the mediation, the parties involved obviously, a confidentiality clause, a without prejudice clause, an authority and status clause. In conclusion, mediation can be useful in particular circumstances. An experienced, skilled mediator will give the greatest chance of successful mediation. It's not always appropriate though, and I've gone through those situations there where it's not appropriate. My name is Gorry. I'm a solicitor in Enfield. I do quite a bit of employment law. If you find this video useful, you might just give it the thumbs up below or leave a comment in the box on YouTube, or else just subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.